Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show, and we are so excited that you've taken time out to join us. Have you ever felt that life has dealt you a bad hand? Well, today we have a story of a young man who's 26 years of age, who's had 30 spinal taps, 8 blood transfusions, and bone marrow biopsies. What an incredible story. The journey of leukemia with Quincton Mitchem. We have Quincton Mitchem and his mom, Cynthia Mitchem. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be finding out more about Quincton and his journey with leukemia.
At Charter Bank, you get totally free checking with online statements. You betcha. Free mobile banking, free online banking, free online bill pay, free debit card, even a new account gift. Free. At Charter Bank, we're here to wow you. And totally free checking is just the beginning. Come see us or open online at charterbank.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life in the country is a conscious choice. And with that choice comes hard work, attention to detail, and investing in the right tools to keep your home or farm at its best. So why choose anything but the very best zero turns on the market today? Exmark. Known for their durability, precision cut, and time-saving performance, Exmarks are the preferred brand of mowing equipment for the landscape professional and people like you who take pride in their lawn. For special pricing incentives, visit exmark.com or your local dealer.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show, where we have Cynthia Mitchem. How are you doing today, Miss Cynthia?
Fine. How are you, Kevin?
And we have Quincton Mitchem.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
And Quincton has been in remission with his leukemia for 5 years now.
Yes.
And Miss Mitchem.
Yes.
What has this journey been like for Quincton being diagnosed with leukemia many years ago? What has this journey been like?
Well, Quincton has had many problems with leukemia. Quincton started out having very problems with his legs, his arms, and his muscles. Quincton would complain about aches and pains. And when we first found out, Quincton was sick. He would get up very sick in the mornings. He wouldn't eat. He would sleep a lot. So once Quincton started doing all these things, I said, well, it's something going on with Quincton. So I said, well, let me take him to the doctor. My son never acted like this before. He always loved to eat. He loved to play ball.
All right.
And he always loved to do things with other people, go outside and do sports and stuff. So I was wondering, I said, what is going on with Quincton? So I took him to the doctor, and they did a lot of blood work on him, a lot of tests, and found out that Quincton had leukemia. And one of the tests that was done on him to test his red and white blood cells. And we found out that he didn't have any red blood cells.
Any red blood cells?
No, none. And also we noticed that Quincton's hands and his face was pale and white. So that was one of the signs that was very, distinguished to me that was going on with my son. So after we did all the tests and stuff, the doctor immediately set up appointment for us to be at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. So once we went up there to the hospital, they started doing tests on Quincton to confirm that he did have leukemia. Once they did the tests, they immediately sent Quincton into surgery, and they put a port into his chest. And once they did that, Quincton was able to receive his chemo and blood through this port. And so they told me that Quincton was going to be in the hospital for several weeks. After that, I continued to pray. I said, oh, Lord, this is going to be a journey.
Right.
So I really, thought back to Quincton told me, he said, Mom, I want to be baptized. Now, this is before Quincton was diagnosed with leukemia. Quincton said, Mom, I want to be baptized. And I was like, wow, where did that come from?
Okay.
So I immediately thought about it, and I said, well, he was sprinkled when he was a baby.
Right.
And my church is orientation is Methodist.
Right.
So Quincton was sprinkled when he was a baby. And I said, well, I'm going to give him the choice to be baptized on his own. Once he get up to be an adult, he can do it on his own.
Right.
Yes. So Quincton got baptized, and so did I. So I said, well, hey, Quincton's going to take this journey. I'm going to take this journey.
Right.
So I got baptized too.
So all of this happened before the journey began.
Yes.
What was it like, you as a mother, hearing that your son was diagnosed with leukemia? As a mother, what did that do to you?
It was very dramatic. It was devastating. I got up one morning and I just cried and cried and cried. And I said, Lord, I can't believe this is happening. And I said, Lord, I love you. And I couldn't hardly take it. I felt as though something was taken from me.
Right.
And once I understood the situation and what was going on, I felt a lot better. But I know that was the Lord that was working and dealing with me within my soul. He was working and dealing with me spiritually.
Right.
I would continue to read my Bible. I would continue to pray. And some of the time I would turn to my pastor. I would talk to him. But most of the time, my journey with the Lord was very powerful.
Now, I know most people going through this journey that you've gone through in the first initial stages, they may, feel like God has left them.
Yes.
God has abandoned them.
Yes.
Did you have any thoughts that God had left you or abandoned you?
No.
That's
no.
Right.
I had no thoughts that God had abandoned me. But my faith, I felt as though I had no faith, that all faith was gone. I was sick. I started getting sick. I couldn't get up one morning, and I said, Lord, what is this?
Right.
That because of stress. I was beginning to get stressed with the situation. But I continued to pray and ask the Lord to give me strength because I had to have that strength for my son.
Right.
So I said, well, this is what I got to do.
Right.
As a mom, and a mom does everything in the world for her child.
Exactly.
And, that's one of the things that, I know the Lord has a hand in.
Exactly.
When it comes to a mother. A mother is wonderful.
Exactly.
A mother is graceful. A mother is good.
Right.
So I know that God had a hand in this.
And, okay, Quincton, you're 26 right now, over there looking so sharp. Now, how old was Quincton when he was diagnosed with leukemia? 19. 19.
Yes.
And he's been in remission now for 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about some of the treatments that Quincton had to go through.
Okay. Some of the treatments Quincton had to go through was chemo. First, he went through to doing the liquid chemo. This is where they hook up the bags onto a little silver stand, and those bags have tubes running from them.
Right.
And the chemo runs into the little tubes into Quincton's chest, where the port is located. And he also received blood through those ports too.
Don't mean to cut you off. I'm going back to 30 spinal taps, 8 blood transfusions.
Yes.
And 9 bone marrow biopsies.
Yes.
Spinal tap. How tough was that for Quincton? I've never experienced a spinal tap before, but I've heard some excruciating, it's excruciating pain.
Yes.
Those spinal taps, what were they like for Quincton?
Easy. Not hard at all. Very easy.
Very easy.
Quincton didn't move a muscle. Quincton was very still. I didn't hear a peep out of him. I was worried because as a mom, I said, can I stay in here with him? And they said, no, Miss Mitchem, you can't stay in the room with Quincton. And I said, oh my God. I was more nervous and more shaky than Quincton was. But one time they let me watch the procedure and I just cringed up. But Quincton, he did a wonderful job. He didn't move a muscle. He didn't shed a tear. He didn't flinch. He didn't do anything. And they said, we're all finished. And Quincton got up. And when I saw that needle was like this long. And it went straight up the spine, the back part of the spine. And they pulled it out with liquid, clear liquid that came out of this needle with clear liquid that came out the spine.
Now, you share with me something about the biopsies, the bone marrow biopsies. Explain what that process.
Okay.
Give us just a brief description of that process.
The bone marrow biopsy is where you lay flat on the table, and they have this needle, look like a double needle, and they get this needle and they stick it down in like one of the sides of the tailbone, and once they stick it down in there, they pull out the marrow inside of the bone part of your backside.
And once again,
he didn't move a muscle. He didn't flinch. He didn't move a muscle. He didn't flinch. He didn't do anything. He just laid there through the whole procedure.
Did that baffle the doctors to see him?
Yes. Yes. They said, wow, that is wonderful. You're doing great. They never seen anyone take those spinal taps and bone marrow biopsy like that. That's
Only
the first
God
time
could take pain like that.
Yes. Yes.
And you said out of 30 spinal taps.
Yes.
And I this is incredible. That's why I keep repeating it. 8 blood transfusions
Yes.
and 9 bone marrow biopsies.
Yes.
And out of all of these procedures,
Yes.
you told me backstage you only saw one tear
One tear
come out of Quincton's eye.
come out of Quincton's eye. And that was when he had the surgery to put the port in. It stinged a little. And that was the only time he had one tear to roll out his eye.
And where did all this take place?
Up at Emory University Hospital.
And so how often did you have to travel to Emory?
Oh, it was weeks and months and years.
And
During the
but how
whole
many days
course,
a week?
3 times. 3 times a week.
3 times a week.
Yes, we had transportation, and it was very difficult to transportation to go back and forth up and down the road. And some of the time, Quincton would be very sick, because most of the time we traveled, it was during the summer. It was hot, and Quincton would get very irritated and hot and start throwing up. And I would take along a bag with me so he can throw up in his bag. But the reason he would get like that is because transportation had other riders to pick up. And once those riders was picking up, the time has lingered for him to get his treatment, so he started to get sick.
And that was normal?
No, that was not normal. That was not normal at all. On his way during these trips, Quincton should have been comfortable, calm, and cool. But during this trip, he was irritated, toss and turn. But I would advise any family member that if they have to take their family back and forth up the road to Atlanta, Georgia, for them to get treatment for any kind of cancer treatment, they should be with family members or a friend to transport them, not with transportation, because that way, you know, it would shorten the trip.
Right, right.
But it's a longer trip if they have other riders to pick up, which that's their job.
Right.
And that's very understandable. But when you got someone that's sick and taking treatment, they should be as comfortable as possible.
Okay, Cynthia, we're going to have to pause and take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to find out what does Quincton have to do to maintain a healthy lifestyle. More of the Kevin Dunn Show after these messages.
Trailers, Jewelry and Pawn, 504 Greenville Street, serving LaGrange for 42 years.
Pop's Party Place in LaGrange, with more than just inflatables on our soft floors, has the largest party space in the region. Of course, Pop's specialty is our giant party playroom, especially equipped for you and your child to make great birthday memories. School classes and teams celebrate with us too. Does your group need to raise money? Call about our Spirit Days. Now open weekdays for discounted parties and open play. The star in your family has a place at Pops. Check out the new club room for teens and adults. Perfect for the Sweet 16, turning 13, and the Big 4-0. Call for a tour today and find us on Facebook, Pops Party Place, where kids can be kids.
Maximum Tax Professionals in West Point has an expert staff that will meet all your tax preparation needs. Maximum Tax Professionals would love to prepare your taxes. Their ultimate goal is to maximize your return with you receiving your refund usually within 7 days. They offer free estimates, W-2 Express, notary services, and all military, self-employed, and walk-ins are welcome. You can even earn cash on referrals. And don't forget to ask them about Audit Plus Protection. If you would like your return maximized, visit Maximum Tax Professionals in West Point. Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show, where we have a special guest, Quincton Mitchem, and his mom, Cynthia Mitchem. And we're talking about Quincton's journey with leukemia that's been in remission now for 5 years. Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Cynthia, I want to ask you now, what type of maintenance, how does Quincton maintain a healthy lifestyle now with everything he's been through, and what keeps him on pace to get a complete healing, even though we know he's completely healed?
Yes.
But what does he have to do to maintain a healthy lifestyle?
Well, one of the things is eat right, a healthy diet. You have to eat good to make sure that, you know, your blood is circulating well and your sleeping habits are well. Don't overeat. Don't eat junk food, which he likes. Don't, you know, don't try to just overdo it, but eat healthy and exercise. Those are two of the main keys that Quincton have been doing. And he does a lot of that, but sometimes I can't get him out the house to do exercise.
And why is that then?
Well, I think sometimes he likes to just stay in.
Stay in?
He doesn't like outdoors as much as he used to anymore.
And that's kind of tough, probably not having the stamina
Yes.
and the energy to go
Yes.
outside and do certain things.
Yes.
What type of exercises does Quincton do?
Weightlifting.
Weightlifting.
He loves the weights.
He loves the weight?
Yes, he loves the weights.
Okay, anything else that he does outside of the weights?
Well, Quincton loves the computer.
Okay.
He loves to get on the computer a lot. His favorite thing is get on the computer looking for tennis shoes. Tennis shoes and clothes. Those are his two main favorite things to get on the computer to look for.
Tennis shoes and clothes. That's not really exercise. Is that exercise for him?
No.
Exercising his fingers?
Exercising his fingers.
Now, when you say eating, is that tough for you to?
Well, no, not really. Because Quincton eating lifestyle was the same before he got sick. So I just started back on that same routine. Like I cook good soul food, you know, the good food like the cornbreads, the collard greens, fried chicken. Fried chicken is not really good for you, but
Just
he
a
doesn't
little bit
eat-
of it.
Yeah, just a little bit of it, you know.
Okay.
So he really eats a good meal, and I make sure that he's get 3 meals a day. So
Now, being in remission, what does that actually? I know what it means, but some of our viewers may not know what that terminology really means.
yes.
So what does that mean, being in remission?
Being in remission means, well, to us,
Okay.
being in remission means that no more treatment, no more chemo, nothing, right? All the cancer cells are gone, and that God has healed you from cancer. That's
Amen.
what remission means to us,
Okay.
to me and Quincton.
So has this, and this is probably going to sound crazy, but has this increased your faith,
Yes.
this journey?
Yes. Yes, it has.
Because I know in the beginning you said you didn't think you had
Yes.
a lot of faith.
Yes.
So tell me, how has your faith been increased?
Well, my faith has increased because of Quincton. Quincton is the one that hold me up. He is the one that helped me to be able to handle and go through this journey with him. Quincton talks about the Lord a lot. He tells me, he said, Mom, it's going to be okay. God is with us. We're going to make it. And sometimes I say, you're right, Quincton, you know. And I said to myself, I'm a grown woman. I'm a mom. I should know all of these things, you know. But, you know, for your child, your son to come to you and say, it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like Quincton hold my hand
Mm-hmm.
through this journey instead of me holding his hand through this journey.
So how did he get so much strength?
Well, I tell you, that's the way he is.
That's the way he is?
Yes.
Okay, I know your faith has increased.
Yes.
But what has this experience taught you any life learned lessons? Just what you can share about this experience has taught you about life?
Well, it taught me a lot of things that as time go on, love your family as much as you can. Love your children, your mother, your father. Love everyone and stay in the Bible. Keep the faith, stay in the Word. Because the Word of God is very powerful.
Right.
Just the word Jesus is
Right.
powerful. So stay in the Word, and that helps a lot.
Stay in
So
the
that's
Word.
what done for me. That's what helped me.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we had some photos and we were not able to show them because we couldn't get them in a format that we need.
Yes.
I saw a photo where Quincton was baptized,
Yes.
and the picture had like a little glowing ring around
like a-
Quentin's head.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you thought or what some others thought when they saw that photo.
Well, it's very interesting. And it's very surprising because when we first got those photos, one of the girls from the church was taking them when Quincton came up out the water from being baptized. And we thought something was on the picture. And she said, oh my God, I done got something on the picture. So I looked at it and I said, you didn't get nothing on the picture. And then she looked at it and she said, no. She said, what's that circle? What's that ring? And I said, it looks like a ring around Quentin's head. And she said, oh my God, it is. So we looked at it and we had a lot of pastors and people from Atlanta and around and surrounding areas say it's a halo.
Okay.
They's calling it a halo. So I suggest that's what it is. It's a halo.
It looks like a halo.
Yes.
Looks
yes.
like a halo.
Yes.
Cynthia, what was it like? Did you ever feel vulnerable, helpless? What is that like, knowing that there's nothing physically you can do for your son? I know you can pray for him.
Yes.
And believe God to heal him, and that's the only
Yes.
thing we can do.
Yes.
But what did you feel a sense of helplessness
Yes.
during the journey?
Yes, I did.
Explain that to us.
Yes. At first, I felt very helpless. At first, I felt as though that my son was going to die, which he was close to dying.
I can only imagine.
He was very close to dying. And he had all the symptoms of a person that had leukemia, the paleness, like he had no red blood cells, nothing in his body, and also the aching, the joints, the pains, the sleep. He had all the signs of leukemia.
Right.
But I felt helpless as though I was going to lose him. And right then and there, everything just went away from me. Just like I didn't have nothing. It was like he was already gone. But in flesh and body, he was still there. But within me, it felt like he was already gone. I felt very helpless. But as time went on, his faith was the thing that helped me to go, to help me keep going. I watch him laying in that bed and I say, look at him. He's laying there and he looks so good. He's my son. And I said, thank you, God. And I started giving God the glory. I started praising him. And I just really caught on to my faith then when I saw him laying in that hospital bed. That's when I caught on to my faith.
And that was early in the process?
Yes.
And that's good. It didn't
Yes.
take long?
It didn't take long.
That's good.
No.
Now, does Quincton have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
Yes, he do. He has a sister and a brother.
Now, what did they think?
Oh my goodness, they was there. Quincton loved his sister and loved his brother very much, and they was there with us, and they was by his side, and it was a very dramatic thing. Very.
So they handled Quincton's illness pretty well
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Did they have any breakdowns?
No.
So you had strength in the kids as well?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, what are some of Quincton's goals that he have in life? I know we talked about
Yes.
some of those a little bit. Tell us a little bit about some goals that Quincton had.
One of Quincton's main goals is to be a professional model.
Mm-hmm.
He loves clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since he was little,
Mm-hmm.
he would love clothes.
Mm-hmm.
We would go shopping. Quincton would hold up clothes in the department stores and put them up against him, like little shirts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He would put them up against him and look at clothes.
Uh-huh.
All the way through school, I would dress Quincton
Uh-huh.
the best I could.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I would go without to
Okay.
make sure that my son looks well in school.
Wow.
He loved clothes.
Wow.
And ever since he was little, he always loved clothes, get in the mirror, put on things, look good, you know. Supposed to, as you see now, he got his shades on, and his shades match his blazer.
Okay.
And he loves to match up his shades. And we done been all up in Noonan, Atlanta, looking for shades to match up with his clothes. So he loves to mix and match his clothes, and he's very good with that.
Very good with that.
So yes, so that is one of Quincton's main goals, is to be a professional model, and he also like acting.
Acting?
Yes, he loves that, and he said one day he's going to be acting with Will Smith.
All right.
So that's one of his goals too.
Okay.
But he also loves Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. All right.
Steve Harvey is his idol.
Okay.
Steve Harvey suits. Oh my goodness, he goes crazy over Steve Harvey suits. So one day, hopefully, he'll get to be on Steve Harvey's show.
Okay, we believe that. Now, Quincton, you thought I was not going to let you talk, but I have two questions I want to ask you. Tell us a little bit about your faith in God.
God helped me to the hospital. He see about me in the hospital. He dealt with me. And he helped me out finish with medicine. And then after a while he'll help me see my goal.
Okay.
I got wisdom. He had with my wisdom. And
That's great.
I have faith in God.
That's great. That's great.
great.
And
That's
the scripture says he's given us all a measure.
Yes.
But I know your measure has increased significantly. And I know you blessed a lot of people with your strength. I know you blessed your mom.
Yes.
I know you're going to bless a lot of our listeners.
Yes.
Just hearing your story, you know, we can sit back and say, well, maybe maybe the journey that we're in is not so bad.
That's right.
Maybe what we're going through is not so bad.
That's
when
right.
we hear your story and everything that you've gone through.
That's right.
Well, I just thank God for you, Cynthia, and
Thank
Quincton
you.
being on the
you.
Kevin Dunn Show.
Thank you.
It's been great. Wish you many more blessings.
Thank
and just allowing God to use you in so many profound ways, because I know he's giving you this for a reason, to impact
Yes.
the lives of so many others.
Yes.
And just been a great show to sit and talk with you.
Yes.
Thank you once again for watching the Kevin Dunn Show. And remember, if you have a topic that you would like to see discussed on the Kevin Dunn Show, please email us at thekevindunnshow@wjcntv.com. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.
Okay.